Hi, I'm Danny. I play the drums.
I'm Johnny. I play guitar.
I'm Billy. I play guitar and I sing.
And my name is Eamon. I play the bass, and we are the Kickback.
The Kickback.
The Kickback.
The Kickback. I would describe our music as post-coital.
Honestly?
Pre-coital?
Third trimester coital.
That's always the awkward times when you're still trying to prove that you're in love, but it might be a little dicey.
I would say we try to get you to dance, move around while thinking about things like divorce or death and how you're going to die. You know, all those fun subjects.
Third trimester, I mean, that's the time when you're like, sweetie, you're gorgeous, you're giving birth to a child that we made, but I'm trying to prove that I'm not physically disgusted by what's happening here.
Mostly your ankles.
But we're going to get through this, I promise. And I love you, and I'm going to take one for the team here to prove that I love you because you're willing to do this for me in the first place. I wish we did music full-time, but we have to work other jobs to continually lose money the way we do on the road full-time.
It's in our hearts full-time, I would say.
It is. Danny walks dogs. I wait tables.
I substitute teach high school kids.
And I'm a supervisor at a detective agency.
That's not true.
Oh, it's very true.
It's not true at all.
Oh, it's totally true.
A detective agency?
That is what
Name
we're
your
called.
highest paid detective.
He probably makes around $100,000 a year.
What's his name?
Secret
Terry
squirrel.
Ryan.
That's pretty good. Detective Terry Ryan.
We're a licensed detective agency.
He's licensed to kill.
Watch out.
I would say basically we work just enough to support our habit of playing music.
It's like a drug addiction. You work just enough to get the next fix, and then you do it, and then you're worse off than when you started.
Yeah.
Danny and I played a show once in Minneapolis where the kids started taking off their clothes and throwing them at us, and then tackled each other in a big semi-nude pile, and like there was clothing covering our amps, and Danny got hit with a shoe.
I think it was a Nike size 6.
Is that why you don't buy Nike anymore?
Yeah.
That was a weird time in Minneapolis. Yeah, this summer, Danny was in Switzerland, literally, and we had a fill-in drummer. And during that performance, performance art troupe thought it'd be a great time in the middle of the street festival to pull up with like a float with scaffolding on it, where they had a guy in a bird costume going, "Ah! Ah!" and a bunch of other birds. And so in the middle of the song, I'm like, hey, listen, we don't come to your nest and pee on your children. Could you not do it during our performance, please?
He was so close to you, too. He was almost to your face. You were like, hey, you want to come up here, buddy?
Should have had some pizza, chewed it up, and tried to feed him. Next time.
Our plans for the near future include a little supper later.
What's up, bro?
Candlelit, preferably, but we're not high maintenance.
We like to take a little nap before our performances.
Not high maintenance, but like we did get dressed up for this. So, I mean, the least you could do is pay for it, maybe.
What about after tonight?
We're recording an EP soon.
Yeah.
We're desperately trying to accumulate funds for our full length, but without a record label behind us, we may have to resort to either some crowdfunding or making off with actually 3 or 4 things we've marked in the studio while we were getting ready for this interview. We'll probably be in the back of our van in about 20 minutes.
You weren't supposed to tell.
Well, we could call our full-length like Bearcast music if we could get some school funding, possibly. So, talk to your supervisors.
The White Buffalo is our van. It's done unbelievably well so far. This is our 3rd band van, and this one by far has outshined either of the previous 2. There was the SS Nambla, which had a lot of miles on her, and then the Killdozer died fairly quickly. So our van is our home. It's our transportation, and it's on very, very cold nights, it's our love object. In our spare time, we have a podcast that is sort of devoted to trying to give people a view behind this glorious, money machine that is the band. We talk about being poor and working our side jobs and disappointing our wives and overall being, disappointments to just about everybody we know in our lives, and what that's like on your psyche, especially while you're trying to be a man in modern times. And unfortunately, a lot of swearing gets in the way, and it's fairly lewd and often not very very clean for decent people.
We used to do it actually from the road while we were out touring, but we found that it's just way too depressing to chronicle what's going on while you're actually in the situation. So we've since, we just do it from home, from the safety.
We get home and reflect and lie to
our
ourselves a
apartments.
bit.
Billy and I were once, we stayed in an art gallery. Was
Memphis, Tennessee?
Yeah, somebody offered us a place to stay. So we were on like stone floor, cold floor, with art all around us until about 7 or 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And a southern gentleman was pounding on the glass going, "What are you guys doing in there?
What you guys doing in there?"
And apparently we were able to get into the place but didn't really have permission to be there.
From the owner of the building?
Yeah, the guy who let us stay there was living there as well, and he got kicked out at the same time. I think we might have been responsible for that.
So while we're shuffling out with our bags, he's having to bring out all of his life possessions onto the street. And it looked like a bad guy from the show Dallas was kicking him out. He had the hat, and he was portly, and he looked like he might have just eaten half of an entire pig.
We were talking about going
What you guys doing in there?
I thought you were homeless.
We're the Kickback. If you feel like getting behind a band that doesn't think it's better than you in most ways and is actually desperate for your help, and it's less like a band and more like a social cause or a sorry social case, then we're the band for you.